off like P. Diddy. Business wise, I play men. High money on the island payment. Y'all just betray men, we spray men. Opposition, competition of the day in the life of the commission.
I got an industry gangsters, the argues and steams the reef. I flip when I call a bitch like she Queen Latifah. And our vehicles long enough to stash the street sweeper. This shit can get uglier than the masterpiece maker. Sliding through the ruckus, it's vibrato in the chuckers. So the spring break holders home from college when the fuckers drop knowledge on you suckers. I sick rock bottles on you fuckers. Cop follow on the toughest. Top dollars to discuss this. Whole lot of zeros when it comes to paper. I throw the soul out of hero. I'm a grateful, I lay in the floor, bury these eyes. And we rap ain't star, and every planet ain't broke. You can't tame, Lord. We smoking by the big screen, changing the channel. Looks like I'm playing the Game Boy. I know you watch all the vision. We're reaching out for the guy on your head. Like it's part of your religion.
Alright. If you're not up, you up now. And I'm up now. That gave me goosebumps. That reminded me of that time era, and I just wanted to play it, and I got the same energy as I had when I first heard that song.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Fire.
I'm David, and this is David Talks.
And I'm Dave, back on David Talks.
Alright, you said you had a diaper that's incredible, huh?
It's a little bit serious.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yours is probably going to be a little bit more serious than mine, even though, let's see. I'm going to give a diaper award to whomever started a fire. They started a fire, and a family member of mine's on their floor. Somebody left a mattress out there, and somebody lit it on fire, and I don't know if it had anything to do with the fireworks. That apparently is some type of pandemic. I mean, I know we laugh about it, but like it's keeping people up all night. I've never seen anything like it, actually. Like in regards to like every night, all night. And I'm talking about like anywhere from 9 o'clock in the morning to like 5 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know if they let that. I don't know who lit it on fire. I don't know if it was lit by fireworks, but it was really dangerous. Thank God they weren't home. The next door neighbor was telling me about it. He said the fire department was about to break his door down, and it tore up the tiles in the door. I've seen it too, and he opened it up. And when he opened it up, he couldn't see, and the smoke hit him, and it was just a really bad experience. I know, like some these, people think these type of things are funny, like it's entertaining. It's like, yo, remember what I did? And we talk about stuff like that, the things that people do for fun and to get like some type of, you so crazy, you know what I mean? But somebody could have been seriously hurt. I understand a woman actually jumped out the window. Right, it was the second floor, But imagine if that was like, I don't know,
the 6th floor or something.
Exactly. She jumped out the window. She thought she was gonna die. That's a very serious thing. She could have died. Anyway, jumping out the window. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I just want to cut this short and just give them 5 diapers for sure. You could hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Smoke insulation.
Insulation. Yeah, that's crazy.
So many things could happen, and thank God no one was hurt. They almost repaired everything. It took about 2-3 days. They took care of it. And my family member's door was actually broke down. Like the fire department knocked it, like broke the locks and everything, and got a new door. So thank God. In the long run, most importantly, there was no lives, no life taken. So, but I'm definitely giving 5 diapers. What would you give them?
Nah, it's 5 diapers.
5 diapers, right?
Yeah, that's insane, man.
That's crazy.
I don't give them diapers easy, but
I know.
That's 5 diapers for sure.
What you got? What's your diaper?
I also wanted to touch on. It's funny they just since you mentioned
fireworks,
you haven't seen so many fireworks day after day. And
yeah.
we're used to that in New York, like maybe a couple days or a week before 4th of July. But now it's just like I don't know, like everyone has fireworks out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's a little strange, and it's all day. It's different parts of New York City.
It is all over New York. It's so crazy.
I wonder if you guys are in other states or countries, let us know in the comments, like, or even shoot us a text. Like, is it going on where you guys at? But
yeah, please do.
They had just arrested 2 men coming into New York City, going through a Verrazano Bridge from Staten Island,
right?
Coming from Pennsylvania with $5,000 worth of fireworks. So I don't know if they buying it in bulk over there and then reselling it here. I'm not really sure, or everyone's going to Pennsylvania or ordering stuff online. I'm not really sure what's going on, but $5,000 worth of fireworks is a lot of fireworks. I guess it depends on what.
I mean, $5,000 worth of fireworks. I'm thinking it was an investment. Like they buying it to sell it,
Right.
and I think it's quite easy because usually like there's certain classifications of fireworks. So like New Jersey sells I think F1 or something like that, and then like Pennsylvania goes way higher. I think up to like 10. If you know, something like that. But anyway, it's quite easy, right? All you have to do is, even though you don't have to, you know, just follow people from Pennsylvania at where they sell fireworks.
Right.
If they enter into New York, that's when you arrest them. Obviously, that's is against the law. Fireworks is against the law in New York. So in Jersey, it's not, but they have you know, certain classification, like I said, as well as Pennsylvania. So it's kind of easy to kind of slow it down in a way because we do know that's where the fireworks are coming from.
Yeah. I mean, they know what they're doing. You know, I don't think they really want to stop the fireworks anyway.
Well, yeah, but it's getting kind of out of hand. A lot of people are showing on
You get
social media
now, right?
fireworks right now. It's so true. And what time is it? It's what 6:58 p.m.
Right,
in New York. And it's still daylight. So it's interesting.
I actually also read another report that a lot of gunshots have been going on between the fireworks. So they're saying they're using fireworks to cover the gunshots. In New York for the past 2 days, which is today's the 26th, I believe. It's been 13 people hospitalized with gunshots.
Really?
So I don't know what's going on out here, man, but it's increasing violence and stuff.
I don't know, man. It's maybe it's me, but I'm always suspicious about those type of things. Like, oh yeah, let's light fireworks and shoot somebody. Like, I don't know. It's just weird.
I mean, I mean, for anyone that knows what a gunshot sounds like, it's a pretty different sound. But I guess the people that don't would be the ones to call the police, right? You know.
That's true.
Yeah. So at this time they're like, we hear a gunshot. Even if they were to call the police are probably like, it's fireworks. You know.
Well, I noticed that police presence is not as usual. I also noticed that, and I also noticed, shout out to those, you know, I don't know if they're told to do it or they want to do it, but I noticed like some police officers are giving out masks at different, you know, train stations and stuff like that.
Shout out to them for giving out masks now, but writing tickets to people that couldn't, you know, get them before when they were clearly sold out everywhere.
Yeah, they're so quick to want to enforce something. You got a great point there. Now they're trying to build. I guess they're trying to build a bridge. Now
build some rapport between citizens and police.
I mean, it's something. It's okay. Even though it's funny because the mask that they, I seen one of the officers take it out of the package, put their hands all over the mask. Like you're supposed to allow the people to take it out. It's a whole process, but I guess they didn't train them even on something simple as that. And I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing. Like, you know,
they didn't train them just like they didn't train them with everything else.
Exactly.
They give them 18 hours of you know, conflict resolution classes.
That's actually the most ridiculous thing ever.
Come on, guys.
Like everybody in most professions, you're trained way more than that, and I don't want to get into that like I did before.
We ain't trying to stay on that today, but just so you know, barbers have to spend twice the time to get their license to cut hair.
Well, yeah, well, to be precise, barbers have to do 1,800 hours.
That's crazy.
And the police department does 850 hours of training, and that should tell you why clearly that these police officers are making up their own rules as they go along. They're basically playing it by ear
and
on the fly.
Yeah, and not to mention with that training, barbers still do terrible jobs the first couple, you know, months with their cutting.
Well, the thing is, it's funny because a lot of you may not know this, but auxiliary cops train police officers because of the penal codes. They know them by heart, like they know them so well, and they're not even like police officers. So I guess cops probably look at it like, oh yeah, thanks for the training, but they're not actually memorizing any of this information. They're not, taking this seriously.
Well, they're seeing you. That's the thing. Oh, you don't need to know that. Just follow me, and you'll see how to run these streets, and such and such. If you follow by the book, you'll get killed out here. Type of attitude, and I just think that's just irresponsible.
It's interesting too because I'm thinking the reason why auxiliary police, which in case you guys don't realize, they're not actual cops. They don't have the same authority. They don't carry guns, etc. I think the reason why they know the penal code is because they would get in trouble if they didn't. They violated someone's rights. And I think that's why they study it so well, and that's why police officers feel like, hey, I'm good. I don't need to know that.
Well, I don't know how accurate this story was, but I heard that 600 NYPD police officers threatened to quit the force. I don't know how accurate it is, but they're looking to resign.
I wonder what the reason is, though.
Well, I think it's because if they're all people at the top are like we need to make change. Recently, you guys should look it up. A police officer was arrested in Queens for applying a chokehold on a boardwalk. Look it up. I'm not gonna get too into that today. I really don't want to get into.
Yeah, we try to get into happy things.
But I think that now that these new rules and these policies are being enforced, they're like, we can't do our jobs like how we want, and they're kind of like, you guys are gonna have to do it without us, But to me, it's like if you guys are really that against the rules being enforced, to protect you and to protect us,
right.
How are those same people so mad and so quick to shoot other people for not following rules? Untrained citizens for not following rules. It's just the most hypocritical thing.
Honestly, I believe it has a whole lot to do with ego.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is why they react the way they do.
Right.
They kind of let it go, more or less, for a Caucasian person versus a black person, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
The white guy goes, whatever he goes. I'm not trying to make fun of nobody, but it's like they're quick to accept the disrespect or disregard without taking it personal. It's almost like they feel like they're not even on their level.
Right.
But like it's easy to look at, black person or Hispanic person or whomever is in a I would say a less fortunate financial situation. They kind of look down on them.
Right.
They don't want to make a mistake and arresting a prosecuting attorney's son,
right.
or judge's son. They don't want to make that mistake. They don't want to cross that line.
Well, that's why, and it sounds weird, but I know a few kids or adults now that have these cards that show that they're related to a police officer or a detective, and they just get off with murder. I've seen crazy stuff, but they show the card, like, hey, just go, because they understand how the system works.
Is the PA card, I believe. I mean, honestly, I've had one of those before, but it took a couple of years for that particular detective to say, "Here, I got you." And he was a nice guy. He's a cool dude, real cool dude. Never had any issues whatsoever. He was great, and they are great police officers out there, by the way. And for people to think that like we need to acknowledge that. You guys are really missing the point. That's common sense. We all experience good police officers at one point in our life. That's not the point. But yeah, and we could continue with that over and over and over again. But
the perpetual loop.
Yeah, nothing new, guys. What was your diaper award?
No, I want to give Gary my diaper award. Nah, just playing. Shout out to Gary.
Gary. Shout outs to Gary. Gary's funny because he said, "Don't give me a diaper award," because he was like, I'm not into podcasts, right?
He likes the visual.
He likes the visual. He likes the YouTube, so he watches the YouTube. Shout outs to Gary.
Yeah.
But he downloaded. He thought he downloaded the podcast.
Yeah.
Already, but he didn't. And then he showed me. And shout outs to Gary. There's no diaper awards for you, bro.
So for those who don't know, then just watch it on YouTube. The podcast is on different streaming services. You could definitely reach out. The contact's in the description. But
yeah, we got Apple. We on Apple Podcasts. David Talks. you know, we should be number 4.
iHeartRadio.
Yeah. iHeartRadio is number 1. As soon as you type in David Talks,
Right.
first one pops up. I don't know what's happening.
Some fireworks going on. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, I just seen a report that a toddler.
Oh, it's 7:05. So that's a tribute to the essential workers.
Oh wow, that's cool. We got that on camera.
Yeah.
I'm over here like, yo, what is going on? We about to see a meteor hit the ground or something. Are we done?
Yeah, shout outs to essential workers. But,
yes, please.
By the way,
For sure.
speaking of essential workers, remind me. I'm gonna talk about an essential worker that, you know, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But,
Right.
but you was
So
like,
my diaper award, alright, my diaper award goes to the whole state of Florida.
the whole state of Florida.
The whole state. Shout outs to Florida. I lived in Florida for like a year and a half.
Shout outs to Florida.
You know, you hold a special place in my heart, but you're probably why I'm weird. But yeah. So for those that don't know about Florida, when the first signs of the pandemic happened and all of the states were shutting down, Florida was the last to do it, and they were also the first to open up their beaches, and they were also the first to open up their bars. So if they were the last to hit, you would think they'd be the last to open up. But of course, you know, the Florida man, if you guys don't know about that, but look it up, man. The Florida man's real. Shout out to the Florida man. I want no smoke. But yeah, record breaking 9,000 cases per day in Florida right now.
Really?
It's the new epicenter of coronavirus, and we're well into June of 2020, and they're having 9,000 cases a day.
Wow.
So you know, the tri-state has implemented a 14-day quarantine for those coming from Florida and Texas. Texas is also closing back their bars again. I'm not really sure the details with Florida, but it's just kind of like at this point, you know, if they don't learn from this, I really don't know what to say.
Wow. I mean, you know, what I would say is the weirdest laws I've ever heard of are in Florida.
Right.
I could get guys, if you just Google the weirdest laws, there's so obscene laws that are in Florida that I don't even want to say it on this show. But they just have their own way of doing however they want to do whatever it is. They're not concerned with whatsoever what's going on around their county, I guess, or state. I mean, I guess they just like, oh, we doing our own thing. We in our own world. So it's so weird. You know, Florida just makes me laugh. I know a lot about Florida.
It's a real thing.
And speaking of how many diapers you giving?
Oh no, the whole state gets 5 diapers.
I'm definitely gonna give.
You know, the reason why is just, and I can't. It's like I'm laughing about it, but it's just they're putting so many people in danger, and this is like no regard to people with problems. I don't know if for those who didn't hear about the dust cloud that's coming towards the United States now from the Saharas, like it's just that's gonna cause a whole bunch of respiratory issues.
Wow.
And it's hitting Florida. It's hitting a lot of those southern corner states, all the way up to Georgia, and it's like they just want to just stand on their own beliefs. I seen a whole half hour. It was amusing, but yeah, it was kind of scary how ignorant people are. But it was just people speaking to council on behalf of not wearing masks, and some of the reasoning was logical, of course, but some of the reasoning was just insane. And yeah, I understand people have they want their rights to be protected, and I agree with that. But for other reasons that they were presenting, more often than not, and it was the majority, was just very dangerous to me. And for people to be so arrogant into thinking that just because they don't believe that the virus is as dangerous as it is, that they'll be safe, it's kind of scary, Yeah, the disregard for other human life, people with respiratory issues and underlying health conditions is just, and then the elderly, and it's just, and Florida has a very high elderly population for people that don't know, And they don't call it the retired state for nothing. It's not just because of, the culadas and stuff. It's just really like, if you guys look it up, it's outstanding, the numbers. So 9,000 a day is just that's just going to grow.
That's a very astronomical number.
Look how condensed New York City is, and then look at the stats for the days and the spikes. It's not going to make sense to you how dense Florida is. It just doesn't really sound right. And some people are calling it fake news. They're coming up with different reasons. And it's like, it looks a little bit like it's on everyone's Facebook that they know someone that's sick and please stay home and this and that and other. It's like, I don't think all those people are in the, the act of controlling your rights.
That's insane. And you're right. In Texas, the cases are going up. I was going to speak about an essential worker that works in a nursing home for retired veterans. And shout out to Jennifer. One of her biggest fears every morning is when they go into work, who has the virus? Are they going to catch the virus? Dealing with that on a daily basis. And what she tells herself to keep herself going is that they serve the country, and they need us, and that's what keeps her going. And she talked very highly of her boss, which is very rare, about her boss working hard. Nurses aides, and I guess nurses. I'm not sure the title of her boss, but it's something because I don't believe that we give acknowledgement for courageous acts like taking care of other people and risking your own life. And I don't think people understand it. They usually look at it like only if you actually in the military, people are shooting at you, but we risk our lives taking care of people. I mean, she could as easily just stay home. She could just stay home and just not go in to work.
Right.
And
that's
yeah, I mean, and I don't blame anybody that decides that their safety is more important, and they have to, consider going home and bringing the coronavirus back home.
What's her name?
Family. Jennifer.
And we might have to come up with like an award system for people like Jennifer.
Well, yeah, I think what I'm gonna say. Just like the diaper awards,
like five stars. Right there.
Yeah,
right. This was not rehearsed.
It's not.
We didn't go, in the episode we're gonna do a new. It just sounds, it's fitting, right?
Oh yeah, Jennifer, you know what? You deserve 5 stars, and a lot of respect, and congratulations.
And that's definitely extended to all of those other, people, essential workers. We just beat for them. And I didn't think of it because I know it happens on a daily, but I guess I'm so into the episode, I'm like, what is that? But then it's just a lot of stuff going on in New York. You just never know.
That's true.
And but I think it is important that even this deep into the epidemic, we're not forgetting, essential workers and people like Jennifer and those others working closely with in the medical field.
Absolutely,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We're gonna do 5 stars for people that we feel that deserve it. You might get 2 stars.
Somebody gonna be mad.
Somebody be like, you only gave me 2
I'm
stars?
braver than Jennifer.
I go to the store for people.
I shop at Target. I'm essential.
I'm an essential worker.
I'm the essentialist. Yeah, I wanted to speak on Bubba Wallace. I don't know if you know who that. You guys might not know who that is, but he's the only right now current black driver in NASCAR. Kind of want to give him a shout out a little bit.
Okay.
We didn't speak. I wanted to speak about it in the last episode, but he apparently spoke out on Confederate flags being banned at NASCAR. For those who didn't know, it's banned officially. That's in different places now.
Wow. Great news.
The Army. Now it's the Navy, and it's just spreading around. I'm not sure about the Air Force yet, but those are different entities. For those who don't know, it's very different. It's ran different, and now it's spreading out to different things like companies and NASCAR, which we all know. If you think NASCAR, you think a certain lifestyle, a certain culture. But yeah, I want to shout out to NASCAR too for doing that.
Yeah, definitely shout out to NASCAR for supporting. And you know what's funny? Like I seen on TikTok, I seen like Caucasian girls with Confederate flags in the background, big ones,
Right.
and also listening to hip hop. But like, and I'm only saying that because I do believe there's a lot of. I don't like to use the word ignorant because I think people take it the wrong way because they don't actually understand the meaning of it or the definition of it. It just means uninformed about something. So I think people are taught to be proud of it because they feel that that's their heritage, but not actually knowing what their heritage truly means, like where it comes from and why, it should have been thrown away a long time ago. So I think that the education, if they taught people, they realize and probably throw the flag away and realize what it stood for was terrible.
Well, yeah, the same people that say, like Colin Kaepernick was disrespecting America for kneeling during the national anthem. Those are the same people that champion that flag, and that's an enemy of a state. That's a direct enemy of the United States. So
That's true.
A lot of people don't know, and they think it just represents certain heritage, and that heritage is deep within the roots of hate. And that could lead to a whole other conversation that I'm still trying to stay away.
Well, I'm trying to stay away from it, but because you brought it up, Faith Hill, country singer, she tweeted, I think either today or yesterday, to remove the Confederate flag. Also, so it's funny that you say that.
Yeah. So many country albums actually,
And she brags about and she loves where she grew up in Mississippi. And she loves her home. She loves her family and friends. She loves where she grew up at. And I feel like she's only saying that so people could understand that it's not about how her life was, good or bad. She's trying to say, well, just so people don't get the wrong idea, I love where I come from. I'm glad this is where I discovered my music from and everything like that. And that's great. And, I just feel it's a shame that she has to say all of that just to say the flag should be abolished.
Right. Because she could hear the backlash following.
Of course.
What she did was pretty brave, I guess.
Absolutely.
Her fan base.
A lot of people gonna be like, "Oh my God," but this is your home. This is where you come from.
Right.
Missing the point.
Right.
And this is what I mean about education. And I guess the education thing is probably gonna be in every single podcast that I have. Because we lack it. We all do. We all lack it. It's not just anybody in particular. It's all of us. And we educate ourselves properly, we won't have a lot of these issues. And this is something that is important, and this is why we discuss it. But we also want to discuss fun things too. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
Well, back to the Bubba Wallace thing. Since he showed his support to NASCAR for announcing that ban, one of these days he went to his garage and there was a noose hung in his garage, just there, and so it was a big uproar, like what's going on? Obviously it symbolizes hate, and we all know what the noose means. The FBI was called. They did an investigation. But the FBI ruled that it wasn't a noose. They ruled that it was not a hate crime or a threat.
Really?
It's just kind of sad. But so they said that throughout the different garages in NASCAR that there's different strings that hang. But the president of NASCAR, shout outs to him, made an announcement and said that in all the other garages where the strings are or the rope is hanging, none of them were in the shape of a noose.
Nice.
So he's kind of like sticking to his guns, and it's just it's insane. Like, I want to see like Adam Silver and other presidents of all these big entities
I don't think
say,
they realize
stick to their guns and that.
They're gonna go down in history for being brave. Like that's a big thing.
Right.
You're not just brave because you own NASCAR. You're not that doesn't make you brave. It makes you brave that you took a leap of faith and created an empire. That's brave.
Right.
But now that's already a legacy. But for you to stand for people,
right?
That's much bigger.
Yeah, just to stand on that side of the right side of history. I think a lot of people right now are uncertain, like which way is it gonna go, But you know, I think things are gonna go right in the right way. Even though, not to be a skeptic, I think it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
There you go.
But sometimes, you know, you need to.
I mean, some people, we creatures of habit, so we don't like change. we feel comfortable the way things has been going on.
Right.
That means we got to rethink things, recalibrate, and question our values. And I know I do that all the time. And how can you actually grow as in the right direction if you don't welcome change?
Right. For sure.
Speaking of when you was talking about Florida. 16 NBA players tested positive for the COVID-19, by the way.
I heard about this, but like I don't even. What's going on with that?
Well, I mean that's just all the news is talking about. I haven't heard any particular players.
Wow.
But that might.
How many players are in Florida?
But you think
it's
about
like two
it,
teams, right? Yeah.
Think about it though. Like if players have it, and they're playing as close as they play, and sweat is exchanged, and come on, it's only a matter of time for all of them to get
Putting
it.
people's families at risk.
Yeah, everybody got to go home, and you got to think about what's important. And I understand, like the country, they kind of want to get some normalcy going on.
I miss basketball.
Yeah,
I miss basketball.
And missing basketball. Speaking about that, Vince Carter retired.
Carter.
Officially.
Wow. Shout out to Vince Carter. 22 years.
Shout out to
in
Vince
NBA.
Carter and that dunk like this. He was the first one to do it. So anybody else doing it, hats off to you. But he did it first.
Dang. 22 years. Hold on. Yeah. So I think he's the last. I think that I gotta look it up. I'm about to look it up. I think that's the last player that got drafted in the 90s.
I mean, his physical.
Look it up, y'all.
His physical athleticism is
It's unmatched.
yeah,
So he got
it's
hurt,
incredible.
But, he's still him and Tracy McGrady. I think those two guys, if they never got injured, they would have changed the face of NBA. Even being injured though, he still was in
I
there.
think it's too bad that he didn't get what I believe he deserves. But in regards to like more championships and along those lines, but
Right.
one of the greatest players to play the game, Vince Carter.
Definitely the best dunker, I think.
Yeah, his dunking was crazy. I mean, hats off to all the people that enter into the dunk contest because like it'll get boring. I guess if nobody participates, it'll fade away. But like, he's one of those guys
Yeah, for sure.
that when you seen him, his dunk was for like years and
the
years
last
and
of
years.
the 90s, I think so. That's crazy. It's a new era. And then not to bring us back to the Kobe thing, but that's weird. It's different now. There's nobody from the 90s left.
I like about what Kobe said when people were comparing Kobe and Michael Jordan. Kobe said, and in respect for opinions in general, that's great. For people that say that Kobe's better, he said, if you're saying I'm better, everything I do is from Jordan. He said, so whatever you see me do, I got that from Jordan, and that's a reality.
Right.
Whether he plays better or not, and I
think he does. Shout outs to everybody that thinks otherwise, or did rather.
Well, yeah, I mean, he said it. He said, if it wasn't for Jordan, you wouldn't see what you see with me. That's
cool.
That's very humbling, and it's very true. It's very clear. There's no doubt about it. And he also said that Jordan constantly gave him advice. Was constantly helping him.
He's also, for those who don't know, he's one of the most frequent passers in all of NBA history. So those that said that Kobe ain't passed that up. It's a strange stat, but yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. Wow. Speaking on some good news, Kanye West, he forged a deal with Gap, with a clothing line.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. Congratulations to you, Kanye West. I think it's amazing. The deal was insane. The deal was $2.9 billion. Yeah, congratulations.
I didn't know that, but that's right.
$2.9 billion, almost $3 billion deal.
I'll actually wear Gap already, so it's just not even too much of a transition for me. I think I have on Gap pants right now. Y'all can't see, but
It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's just weird.
I think it's great, and it's funny how I recall clearly, like it was like literally yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
like when Nike didn't want to do no business with him, when Nike
Oh yeah.
didn't want to see him. He
Mm-hmm.
was like he got to a point where he felt like he needed to demand a meeting, a sit down, a face to face,
Right.
you know, with the CEO of Nike, and they just.
But that happened his whole career. I think, and people I just watched this video with Joe Budden talking about how he turned down Kanye, but it was more context to it.
Right.
He was late to a show, and Kanye asked if he could rock up, before him, but he's like, I'm 40 minutes late, they ain't gonna wanna hear you. But in hindsight, he's like, wow, I should have, kept Kanye close, because look where he propelled to. But Kanye has expressed this over and over that people didn't believe in him. And he's faced adversity, and even when I don't agree with a lot of Kanye stuff, you gotta respect it,
Oh yeah, I mean, anywhere from that deal, which is amazing, and it launches a year from today,
Okay.
right? And
Wow.
you can order it. You can order. So I've seen it online.
Wait,
I looked
already?
online. He has clothes online that appears to be available, which means
That's
if you
crazy.
get it now, it's exclusive. And you know what? Kanye is a businessman, because when he did a show, he did a record. No one sold merchandise, $800,000, almost $1 million of merchandise in one day when he did a show. And he spent like $1.50 for like each of the items, from hats to shirts,
Yeah.
and he made $800,000 in one day. And he tweeted, or he said he made $1 million in 2 days, but I guess the leftovers, and maybe he just probably wanted to be realistic. But I mean, we get it,
Right.
So he's a businessman. He gets it. He understands, and he 5% of whatever he put into it is what he got out of it.
Right.
He believed in himself, and he did it. And he made it happen.
He also has now a very strong support system. I remember a couple of years ago on Twitter, he had put that he was in a certain amount of number, like millions in debt. Then he also put that he's gonna borrow money from his wife, and she invested in him. And look, it's just, now he's, the richest rapper now. I think he's the richest entertainer. If you really think about it.
Well, no, richest entertainer. Well, now that he's in the billions.
Yeah. He was already worth 4 billion already.
Hey, I mean, yeah.
So now
actually,
he's creeping on 10.
actually, you know what? Yeah.
Kanye West is gonna be one of those names, household names.
Well, Kanye West also bought a large amount of property to farm some type of synthetic foods or something like that. I'm not sure. I kind of forgot. It was months back.
He called it. He was gonna be the new Walt Disney, and people laughed at him. I remember that. I remember people just laughing. I didn't think it was so strange to say. People now probably look at him still weird, but I don't think it's really that strange to say he'll be the new like Bill Gates and trendsetters or whatever comes next. He'll be a part of it. And when you think now, even Adidas, which is such an amazing brand and such a big brand, you think Kanye.
Well, honestly, yeah. When I go into like a what's that? A Foot Action. They have the separate section for Adidas, and they have another section for Puma.
Right.
When I go in there, I'm just thinking Kanye Adidas, and it's funny because most of the Adidas stores don't sell Yeezys.
So yeah, they reap the benefits from it too.
Well, yeah, because he just by having his name, people are looking for his sneaker, and they'll probably see a Stan Smith for like on sale for like $59. Shout out to Stan Smith, but it's just
Yeah, I mean,
Kanye West is the new Stan Smith. No offense,
but bigger.
way bigger.
But yeah, shout outs to that. We giving out shout outs crazy today.
Crazy
but
shout outs.
but, it's a lot
really
going
happy
on.
for these guys.
For
It's
sure.
amazing. I love it. And what can you say? Unfortunately, though, got some bad news too, right? J.C. Penney's is closing 13 more stores. 2021, they want to go from 600 locations to 250 locations.
I mean,
They filed for bankruptcy.
what they
and
did.
Yeah, it's just, you know, in my opinion, when you look at quality of clothing now, I'm really shocked that they still think those type of clothes, those old school, you know, cotton material, that particular cotton type of cotton material, there's so many kinds, is so outdated, right? And if some of you are too hot, they don't have the cut is not good.
Right.
You know, your extra large is like, you know, so huge it goes down, still going down near your knees. Like, you know, that whole thing is, it's just not working out.
Well, it might come back around though. You know, another 5 years, it's gonna be the style again. So
I thought that a long time ago. I figured if they're still selling that, then they must know something that I don't.
yeah,
Right? But now I'm completely convinced that they're stuck in a time warp, and they need to reinvent the wheel and change some things around. Because if you're gonna just keep cutting stores down, if you think that's the problem, or if you think, you know, I guess, you know, shoplifting's the problem, you need to hire more security, that's the problem. You have to start to take a look at the merchandise that you're selling versus the merchandise that's selling in like successful stores. You know, basic stores like H&M or whatever.
Right.
You know, and look at the material. I mean, it's so different, and the pricing is so cheap.
right.
You get a decent shirt for an inexpensive price. You know,
Well, now for better quality and better fashion-wise, you could just go online. I think now it's becoming more and more common. That's why these guys, Jeff Bezos and all these other names, and Gap, because you could order online for Gap too. They're growing. It's more of a better. It's just, it's not looking good for. I'm not surprised about the JC.
well, I mean, and honestly, Gap is it up for a Gap to have Kanye a part of their brand. Actually,
I just missed Kanye's new release of his sneakers.
Wow.
I'm upset.
wow.
Yeah, it's that bad though. Like, it's so much traffic just to get his sneakers. So I can't imagine his sweaters now, his socks, boxers, like whatever, you know, he does with Gap is just gonna be insane. So, I mean, for those you know that aspire to be like Bill Gates or the next big name of when I was younger, the Donald Trumps, you know. Yeah, I laughed at Kanye for saying he's gonna be president, you know, and it's like,
Well, it's true because he's not exclusive to Gap.
where
He said also that he'll design for popular brands as well. So he's not even exclusive to Gap,
right,
which is great because he's already set up. You already can buy his merchandise directly from him online. For people that still love to shop, which I do, I like
That's
going to stores.
crazy.
I mean, there's he doesn't have a cap, and I
thought
always
it was
talk
an
about cap.
exclusive.
It's not exclusive.
Wow.
So
I
he
don't
can
even
come
know
up
what else
with.
to say.
I mean, you know, he's going to be the new Tommy Hilfiger. How about that? That's where he's going in that direction.
You got a, how'd I miss that this week? Or?
I do not have a how did I miss that. It's so many things going on
Yeah.
right now. I did have. Let me see. What did I have? I do have a Let's Go, Let It Go.
Yeah, I got one too. So
I could go with that. I'll go with the Go Touch pen. Have you heard of it?
no.
It's a pen that, so instead of using a whiteboard, it already has something built in it where I could just write on this screen right here and do the same exact thing. And it's only about $200.
Oh, that's dope.
So
Let's go.
I'm gonna say let's go. What you got?
Yeah, I'm with the go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm waiting for them to just like.
Well, actually, it's out already.
Uh,
Actually, it's actually out. You can actually look it up and order it.
I want to see. I want to talk about Twister. A reboot. They're making a reboot of Twister, the tornado movie. Let's go or let go.
I guess let's go because I have a thing about like movies, especially with weather. I think they're trying to send a message, and you know, I kind of think.
I mean, that Dust Bowl is coming. That's gonna be the real.
That's insane.
That's the
And
slow
you're
killer.
just reminding me of history. Florida was actually completely destroyed, like completely destroyed, and that's a long history. These is a long time ago, but it's funny.
When I was a kid, I read a book about the couple Dust Bowls, and I don't know. This sounds terrifying, man. To be
It
honest, I have family
sounds
in Florida.
incredible.
Yeah, it just doesn't really sound normal.
But it's not enough to scare.
No,
people that
you know,
live
these
there.
guys are gonna make, wear the, their
People
red
come
hats.
out. They come out.
Shout outs to those people too, man.
Well,
But yeah, that's mine.
yes. So we good?
Yeah, I'm good, definitely for sure.
Great. Thank you for watching David Talks. Much love. See you guys again.